All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'll be your yoga instructor today. So, welcome to week 20 of our Yoga for Pregnancy series here on Wild Blue Yonder Media. If you're returning to these classes, welcome back. And if you're new or just discovering them, welcome. It's really lovely to have you. So, this series is all about helping you get into your body, really take care of your body as you grow a baby or babies if you're expecting multiples, and just get ready for that delivery and postpartum part of your life. So, as we get into the practice, just a few things to note here. We are going week by week with these classes, but you can feel free to jump in and mix and match as your body is able and whatever your doctor has cleared you for. So, just keep that in mind. Also, notice your boundaries. Where do you ready to extend into postures? Where do you need to modify and come down to the mat or find your center posture? Keeping in mind that your body is starting to change, not only growing a baby, but the ligaments are starting to loosen. So finding your edge and then maybe pulling back as you hold stretches and breathe. So we're not doing any accidental damage to the body. Also, keep in mind I don't cue water. So if and when you feel thirsty, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and then join us whenever you feel ready. And finally, welcome to anyone who is a spouse or a partner, family, friend, or little ones who are joining for this practice. It's great to practice in community, and supporting the expecting mother in this way is a great way to do that. So thanks for being here. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. Our legs can be crossed or they can be straight out in front of us. You can be up on a prop. I'm sitting on a block on its lowest side just to lift the hips and make it easier to sit tall, but you can also be down on your mat. You're welcome to wiggle back and forth to root into the sits bones and then sit up nice and tall. We'll inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. Inhale as those shoulders come forward and up, and then exhale as we drop them back and down. Find a comfortable spot for your hands, whether you're on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You are welcome to close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or simply find an unmoving point and soften the gaze. And like all the practices in this series, we're going to start with a breathing practice to help you connect with your baby here. So if you'd like, you're welcome to place a hand on your belly, a hand on your chest here. And take a moment just to tune into your breath. We're not changing it in any way, but just simply noticing its rhythm or cadence right here as it naturally is. And then on the next inhale, take a full breath in through your nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale, fill your belly, lungs, and chest with air. And slowly exhale that breath back out. On the next inhale, slowly draw a breath in and imagine drawing in all of the love that you have for your baby and sending it to your baby. And then on the exhale, imagine baby exhaling out all of its love that it has for you. Inhaling honesty for baby. Exhale, baby's honesty for you. Inhale, courage for baby. Exhale, baby's courage for you. Inhale, compassion for baby. Exhale, baby's compassion for you. Inhale, integrity for baby. Exhale, baby's integrity for you. Inhale, temperance for baby. Exhale, baby's temperance for you. Inhale, love for baby. Exhale, baby's love for you. Taking several more deep breaths just like this, drawing in whatever it is that you would like to offer to your baby. And then on the exhale, exhaling out that very same thing from baby to you. When you reach that next exhale, releasing the hands back down into the lap or on the legs if they were lifted, and allowing your breath to settle into its own rhythm and cadence for just a moment. And then taking a moment here to set an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale here as you feel that intention with your heart and mind. And then exhale that breath out, set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Gently opening the eyes here. If you are in or are using a prop or seated on a prop, we're going to go ahead and just move that out to the side here so it's out of the way. Coming into a comfortable seat, easy pose, legs out in front of you, whatever you prefer. And then we'll inhale, sweep our arms wide, bring them up overhead, cast the gaze skyward. Exhale, twist over to the left, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the body, curving your head around into a seated twist. Inhale returns you to center as you reach toward the sky. Exhale, twisting over to the right, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the body. Curve your head around into a seated twist. Inhale, we return to center, arms go tall. Exhale, coming over to the left again. Curving that nose around, feeling that stretch all the way up into the neck. Good. Inhaling, we return to center. Exhaling, twisting over to the right here, curving that nose around. Good. And then inhale brings us back into center. Exhale, we drop this left hand down to the mat, step it about a foot directly out to the left. And then exhale, lean over to the left, reach through those right fingers, seated side bend. So as you're reaching through the fingers, feel the pull through the side body, rooting through that right hip, pressing into that left hand gently. So you're rooted through the hips here. Shoulder is stacked, chest is open. And we're feeling that lovely opening through the ribs here. The further along you get into the pregnancy, the more compressed everything in the body becomes. So this is a really great way to open up the side body, the spine, and those ribs, which can start to feel really compressed as baby grows. Good. We'll inhale as we return to center. Drop that right hand down. Step it about a foot out to the right, and then exhale, lean over to the right, reaching through those left fingers for your seated side bend. Again, shoulder is stacked here. So if that means you have to come up slightly, make that adjustment. Totally fine here. Feeling the pull through the ribs, rooting down through the left hip, gently pressing into that right hand. Ooh, feeling that nice little zip of energy that comes. Side body stretches always make me yawn. So yawning it out, that's totally fine. I always tell my students, if you need to yawn, let it go, no problem. And then inhale, let's return to center. Find a comfortable spot for your hands. Mine are going to be on my knees. Yours could be on your thigh or on your shins. And we're just going to find some hip circles here. So making big circles with our torso, kind of staying rooted through the hips as we imagine our hip bones that are connecting to the floor are like marbles, and we're just kind of rolling around on each angle of them. Moving slowly with intention. This is a form of core work here. So, depending on how far along you are in your pregnancy, this may be a little bit harder than you would think it should be. And then switching directions here, again, just opening up the spine a little bit here, wiggling around, finding again a little bit more of an opening every time you kind of come deep into one of these movements or one of these positions. Good. And then inhale, let's come back up into center. If your legs are extended, you're going to go ahead and kind of come more into a cross position. So we'll start with this left leg in front of us, just down in an easy position here. And we're going to take our right leg and we're going to cradle it in our arms here as if it is a baby, right? So we're going to take it here, kind of nestling the sole of your foot into your left crook of your elbow, and then using that right arm to kind of wrap around the knee here. If this is inaccessible, you're like, Alexis, no way. Feel free to kind of wrap underneath the leg and then hold for the leg further away and hold the leg with the right hand. Okay. So wherever you are here, we're going to lift that up, staying rooted through the sits bones, and then just rock our baby, which is our leg in this case, from side to side here, finding some movements. Nothing really earth-shattering here. We don't need to be doing really big movements, but this is getting kind of a nice deep stretch in that right hip. And it's also getting some nice movements in through the pelvic floor region here. So we're kind of just welcoming in some movement, welcoming in mobility as well, which is really important as we're pregnant here. Good. And then let's go ahead and we're going to release that leg, and we're going to take our foot, our right foot in our right hand, and then we're going to extend it straight out and up to the sky, extending that leg. Good. Bend it back down, curl it in toward your belly. Extend it out, press the heel away, maybe pull that leg open slightly, and then exhale, bring it back down. Nice work. So, again, just moving with intention. It doesn't need to be fast. In fact, it really shouldn't be fast. And we're breathing through this really intentionally. So, taking nice full breaths, drawing it in through the nose, either letting it out through the mouth or slowly out through the nose here. Again, stimulating that diaphragmatic breathing as it gets harder and harder because there's less space. Great work here. And then with our left leg staying right where it is, we're going to sweep our right leg around. So the inside of the knee is on the floor, and the leg and the inside of the right calf and shin area is on the floor. I'm going to turn just at a little bit of an angle so you can see this a little bit easier. Okay. So some people call this cheerleader stretch. I'm sitting here, and as I root into my hips, this right hip really wants to pop up. So I'm pressing it down into the mat. I'm already feeling a deep stretch in the hip. Ooh, it's like right there, nice and deep. Okay. So staying here for just a couple of moments as we feel that nice deep stretch, sitting up nice and tall. Notice if the shoulders have started to kind of creep up around the neck. And if they have, see if you can exhale them, dropping them down. Hands are in a comfortable position here. You can have them on the knees or down on your shin, on the mat, prayer position if you'd like. You can always press those thumbs into the chest and feel the chest rise and fall as you breathe. Good. And then let's go ahead and lean forward here slightly. So we're down on the fingertips or the hands. If that's inaccessible, feel free to grab a prop like a block and place that underneath the hands on any one of the heights. That will give you a little bit more lift here. Now, keeping that knob of the big toe down on the floor, we're going to inhale, lift our right knee, and then exhale it back down. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, feeling that strength as you pull it up, opening through the hip. Exhale, lowering back down and releasing. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Two more. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice work here. Moving that prop so it's just a little bit in front. You may want to keep it nearby if you want some extra support. Another great option if you're needing some help with strength, bring it on to either the high or the medium side. I'm going to start with medium and bring it to the outside of your left hip. Now, keeping the legs right where they are, we're going to engage the core. Again, you can plant that hand on the mat to start, but we want to get to the point where you can do this without. And we're going to inhale, lift up, lifting those hips, pressing them forward, balancing on both knees and the shin, and then exhale down. Good. So this is a hip strengthener. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. Nice work. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice job. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Great work here. Go ahead and release that leg, sending it straight out in front of you. Both legs come straight out in front of you and just wiggle those knees, kind of bouncing them up and down. A little bit of a release here. That was a nice deep opening for that right hip here. So good news is we're switching on to the opposite side. So we're going to get a chance to do that on the opposite side here and kind of even ourselves out. I know that always feels good to me when I've done the work on one side and then switching to the other. So now coming onto this opposite side, we're going to go ahead and bring our right leg. So it's just kind of resting easily in front of our body in like half easy pose. And then take this left leg and go ahead and cradle it into the foot into the crook of the right elbow, and then wrap that arm around the left knee. So again, staying rooted through the sits bone, try to sit up nice and tall, and then just find some gentle rocking movements here. We're not doing anything crazy. We're not getting out of control. We don't really need to pull or move very fast. We're feeling a stretch in that right hip already, but are in that left hip already. And we're also just getting some mobility in there, kind of moving those ligaments, those muscles around here, maybe in a little bit different way than we normally would in our day-to-day life. Excellent. Now go ahead and release that leg, but grab the left foot with the left hand. And then again, if you need to steady yourself, right hand can come down to the mat, elbow slightly bent. We'll inhale, lift that left leg straight out to the side, and then exhale, bring it down. Good. Inhale out, maybe peeling it open here. So we're getting to the inside of that left leg. Exhale down. Inhale out. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Great. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Really nice work here. We're going to go ahead and sweep that right or that left leg around. Sorry, pregnancy brain cannot get my lefts and rights correct today. And we're going to drop that leg down. So the inside of the left knee, inside of that shin and calf space are down on the mat here, kind of like we're sitting in cheerleader pose. Okay. And I'm going to turn to the side once again so we can see one another. So again, this is already a bit of a stretch. My left side is a little bit looser, so this is actually easier for me to sit in than the other side. But nonetheless, it's important we do the same thing on both sides to welcome in that symmetry. So if your left hip is kind of hiking up, it's like, ah, I don't want to be there. See if you can gently exhale, lower that hip down to the floor, gently sinking into sensation with intention here. So again, sitting up nice and tall, notice, ooh, are you holding some tension in the shoulders, maybe in the jaw, and see if you can exhale, release those. Trying to let that sensation rest there in the hip. It can be super intense. I'm with you here. Finding a good spot for your hands on the legs, the shin, down on the mat. Again, if you want a prop, if that's supportive for you, always find that prop. You can have it beneath the hands here. Sometimes it's just nice for a little extra support. Great work. All right, we're going to lean forward slightly here. If you've got your prop, maybe adjusting it as you need beneath the hands. And then again, we want to keep our weight so it's on that kind of big ball of the big toe of the left foot here. So we're going to inhale, hinge our leg open, lift that left knee tall, exhale it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Good. Inhale, lift. Feel that opening through the inside of the leg, the strength and the muscles there. Exhaling it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Good. Continue to move here. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Three more. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Really nice work here. Block can stay here. You can adjust the height, or you can also bring it over to the outside of the right leg for some extra support. The goal is to be able to lift up on your own with your own strength. But if you need to work up to that, if you're a little bit wobbly, totally fine to use a block. Modify as you need. Okay. So we're going to inhale, lifting up here. Weight comes onto the knees and onto this right shin, pressing those hips forward. And then exhale, we come back down. Good. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, lift, exhale down. Inhale, lift, exhale down. Inhale, lift, exhale down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Three more here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, lift. Last one. Exhale down. Really nice work here. Go ahead and move your props out of the way. Extend those legs straight out in front of you for a little bit of a release here, bouncing those legs, getting the blood flowing. Woo, we've opened up both hips now. We've gotten some strength in those hips, which is important, just as important as keeping them loose and open, maybe rolling the ankles if that feels good for you. Lovely. And then we're actually going to come into a wide-legged stance here. So coming into your seat, your legs are wide, about a 45-degree angle, not too wide, not too small. You know, it's like the three little bears, just right here. You can always grab a prop if you want some extra support with the hands as you start to come forward and down to this forward fold. So rooting through the sits bones, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we hinge at the hips and then lean forward with the heart center, coming into this wide-legged forward fold here. So shoulders are shrugged down, elbows are tucked into the sides. You notice how my elbows are really bent here. I probably don't need a block for support at this time, but if you do, please feel free to use it. Hands can also be down on the mat. You can start to walk them forward and even come down onto the forearms. Now, wherever you are, I want your chin tucked looking straight down in front of you so you have a nice long neck here. Check in with your toes. Notice, are they curving down toward the floor? If they are, inhale, point them up toward the sky, trying to keep that outward rotation here. So we're really targeting the inside of our legs. Another option, like I'm just showing here, is you can also have your hands to the inside of your thighs or your shins to help with that opening here, and also to help with that descent into the posture. So notice what feels right for you. There's not necessarily a right way, but there is a way that best supports your body. Couple deep breaths. Good. And then we inhale, come on up into center. Go ahead and bring those soles of the feet together. Knees fall open wide. Inhale, we lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we hinge at the hips, lean forward once again for our bound angle pose. So now we're targeting the hips simultaneously here. Oh, I'm feeling it. I did some deadlift today. So, oh my gosh, my low back is saying thank you, thank you. So again, chin is tucked long through the neck, looking down toward the space in front of you. Shoulders are down. Hands are in a comfortable position, whatever that looks like for you here. Nice long spine and taking a couple deep breaths as you really notice sensation in the hips, pulling up into the low back here. Again, finding your edge and then maybe pulling back slightly here. We're not going super, super deep, just really being mindful of how much our body is already stretching and moving here. And we're not even doing anything. It's our body doing it to accommodate baby. Good. Inhale, let's go ahead and come on up into center, fold those knees shut. We're going to come down to final relaxation and a note on final relaxation. So we're at week 20. From here on out, I will not be demonstrating or showing the typical final relaxation options, just because I'm getting further along in my pregnancy. And for most of us, laying on our back starts to become fairly uncomfortable. Keep in mind that if you continue with this series with me, which I hope you do, and you're feeling fine on your back, you are welcome to take a version of final relaxation that feels fine to you if that's on your back or another version of it. Okay. So just keep that in mind moving forward. I won't always go super in depth about it, but I do want you to have that note. Okay. And again, this is your practice. So do what feels most comfortable for you. So we're preparing for final relaxation. So if you need to put on, if grab a drink of water, put on socks or a jacket, towel off. Now is your moment. We will not sit up for the rest of our practice here. So coming on down onto one side, moving with ease here, using your body to support you as you come down, as you're supporting baby. Now, you may want to have a block nearby to place underneath your head. You can use a pillow. You can use your arm if that's more comfortable. Depending on how far along too you are, it may be helpful to put a block underneath the belly here to give it a little bit of lift, kind of like a maternity pillow. This can be a really nice ease on the low back. Again, if you're not as far along in your pregnancy or if it's still comfortable for you, you are more than welcome to lay on your back and find whatever version of final relaxation feels the most comfortable for you. And as always, you're welcome to return into a seated posture here, treating this final part of our practice as a seated meditation if you'd like. So, wherever you are, start to settle in and tune into your breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow your breath is moving, how deep or shallow it is. Noticing the quality of each breath on your inhales, the quality of each breath on your exhales, and allowing your attention to rest easily on that gentle rise and fall of the belly, perhaps the rise and fall of the chest. Simply noticing the movement of the air as it exits and enters your body. Now, when your mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay. Celebrate the fact that you noticed you've gone away, you wandered off, and then come back to your breath, back to the inhales and exhales. If it's helpful for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra here to help you stay grounded and focused on the breath. Inhale, I move. Exhale with grace. Inhale, I move. Exhale with grace. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments here today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of your practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know I'm watching the time and I respect yours, so I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest right here with your baby. With internal reconciliation, peace and love become possible. When you embody peace and love, you can change a situation more easily. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air, before slowly exhaling that breath out. Taking another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle the fingers and toes, move the arms and legs, gently waking your body up. And when it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale here, making your way on up into a seated position as we close out our practice together today. So finding your comfortable seat, rooting into the sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, shoulders draw forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, in your lap or at heart center. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on Earth and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga and growing a tiny human. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for week 20 of this Yoga for Pregnancy series here on Wild Blue Yonder Media. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and share this practice and my channel with any pregnant moms that you know, anyone who would benefit from some yoga and mindfulness in their life. They also don't have to be pregnant to benefit from the other classes on my channel. So make sure to check that out. I also have a podcast, Wild Blue Yonder Meditations, that's got tons of great breathing and mindfulness and meditation practices on there. So bring that practice, continue to bring this practice to the inside as you grow your baby and move through this pregnancy part of your life. And check those out as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you in week 21 in our next class. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And I'll see you in the next practice.